So, we've recently approached the market, speaking to many specifiers in relation to waterproofing design, and gained really key feedback from them around what they're looking for in terms of extra detailing support, generic detailing functionality, to which we've responded with a series of videos we've been rolling out to help educate the specifier. Our typical details do add an extra dimension to many others on the market, in that we have the functionality of the layers, where you can turn on various layers depending on the types of waterproofing system looking to incorporate within your design. However, a really key piece of feedback we did receive from a number of architects and engineers was, whilst this would be a great tool for them to have to enhance their ability to know how to design systems, they were looking for some assistance around maybe an interactive flow chart to help them navigate the design journey. So today we're glad to present to you our interactive Product Selector, which helps you configure your waterproofing design, starting from first principles of understanding the grades of protection, all the way through a series of questions to help you understand what the core waterproofing systems are you should select for your given waterproofing scheme.
Hello, so I'm Jason Devenish, and we've been developing the new Premcrete Academy section of our website. We're going to talk specifically today about how you can design and configure your own waterproofing design. Now, I'm just going to talk you through here on my screen recording how you can access the design and configure part of the website. So when you come to the home page, you can see here we've got this Academy tab. You can see there's a drop down with 6 different categories, and you can select the design and configure category. That will take you straight into the design and configure section. You then will select learn to design waterproofing, which is right in the middle there. Once we're into this section, here is your dedicated area for everything you'll need to design your own waterproofing system. So firstly, we've got the waterproofing know-how design tutorials. We will be uploading more videos onto the website very shortly, but these will take you through each of the scenarios, i.e. piled basement wall layout. This will be the video that shows you how to do that. This one would be another scenario, and there'll be introduction videos, etc. The second bit is the flow chart, which is what has been touched on earlier. And this is a flow chart which helps you to configure the waterproofing design. And the third section to this area is all the typical details, which again, there'll be lots more uploaded in the very near future. So we're going to talk through the flow chart first. So once you've clicked through to the flow chart section, you'll come through to this little home page, which is simply just giving you a little bit of an assumption of what this flow chart is based upon, which for your interest is designed as a high-level guide for the new build projects with reinforced concrete frame construction. So we realize there's lots of different types of construction. The most common in our industry is a reinforced concrete frame construction, and normally in a new build setting. So that's what this flow chart is based around. Also, we must caveat this with the fact that we are helping you to learn to design waterproofing doesn't mean that it replaces a Premcrete project-specific waterproofing design. It is always wise to contact our technical departments once you've developed your high-level strategy and make sure that everything's in good order. You can see there's a few instructions on this little icon here with the downward arrow is a guide where you see this appearing on the flow chart. That means that you should click this, one of the options with this icon on it. Also on the far right of the screen, as you can see here, that's just popped up on the far right, these icons here, the backward arrow and the home arrow, can be used to either go back one level or go back to the overall overview. So let's get stuck in. So this is the flow chart here. You can see the whole flow chart in full view, but up here there's a button saying click here to start. So the first question we're going to ask is, which zone in the building are we designing for? There's the ground level zone, which is everything at ground level, which we're assuming is anything less than 600 mil below the ground level, or above that level, of course. Or we're looking at basement or below ground areas, which we're assuming is anything in advance of 600 mil below ground. This 600 mil measure comes from some of the prominent warranty providers, and it should be checked what they are expecting as below ground or ground level dimensions. But let's just assume, for example, that we're designing for a basement area. Once again, you can see the downward arrow icon. We select it at that point, and it will take us to the next set of questions. So the next set of questions here is, what grade of waterproofing is required. So in accordance with the BS 8102 2022. So we've laid out the 4 grades of waterproofing. We've given you a little bit of a description, some typical examples of the spaces that you'd find these grades, just to help guide you as to which grade to select. It is important that if you're unsure about the grades, that either you can refer to us for advice or go back to the client and ask for clarification on what grade they might require given the descriptions you can see here. So let's just say we're going to go for a grade 3. It's a habitable space and we need it to be fully dry, no dampness or seepage in the area. Once again, we click on the downward icon and we come here to the grade 3 scenario, and it's now asking us, is ground gas protection required, CS2 or CS3, or is there protection from hydrocarbons or VOCs required? Really what we're saying is, other than waterproofing, is there any other protection required in relation to gases and hydrocarbons? And then we come down here and we choose which option we're going to go for. So either it's no gases or VOCs, which means waterproofing only, or it's gas risk only. So this is purely based on ground gases under the characteristic situation reference, or it is actually just VOCs or hydrocarbons on their own, or there could be a combination of both. So you can see here that we've got all 4 options here. So if we click on, for example, a combination of both, this now takes us to the primary systems that we need to be specifying or selecting within your PDF, your layered PDF, or in your specification. So the primary system here, as the Type A membrane, is CombiSeal Plus. This is a pre-applied self-healing membrane that also protects against gas and VOCs. And then the secondary form of waterproofing will be your Hydrocrete waterproof concrete additive. And where CombiSeal Plus exists, we are also expecting there'll be edge detailing around the perimeter of the building, which would typically be Hydroproof 8000, which is a self-adhesive Type A membrane, or in some cases a liquid applied membrane such as Hydroproof LG. But this basically provides you the core systems. So when you refer back to the layered PDFs, you'll notice when you select CombiSeal Plus as the primary system, there will be a whole host of ancillary items that will also be pulled in automatically onto that layered PDF. We don't refer to the ancillary items here in this flow diagram. This is just to help you identify the core products and systems that are needed. So if we want to go back one level, we just hover over to the right. We can go back one level here. If we want to go back to the home page, we can click the home button there, and that will take us back to the overview. You're not forced to navigate this flow diagram purely with the downward arrows. You can actually just navigate it freely. Once you're back at the home screen, you can just zoom and pan around the flow chart at your own leisure. So you can just have a little look more in a manual sense. But if at any point you do want to just go down methodically again, click on the start button. And as you can see, I'm now going down to another scenario at ground level. Again, let's say there's just a gas risk. It will then specify the DPM that I'm needing to use and also the edge detailing products. So I hope that's been helpful. If we just click back to the home button, that will take us back to that home page. And there we have it, our Premcrete Product Selector. We probably will be developing this further in future, so we look forward to any feedback, constructive or otherwise, because this does currently only work for the scenario where there's a new build structure with an RC frame construction. If you've got other types of constructions, i.e. existing structures, this still can be used to an extent, but it would be worth ringing up Premcrete technical department just to flesh that out in a bit more detail with us. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.